I had $1 for every time on the Y94 Morning Playhouse somebody said, I'm concerned about this bachelor or bachelorette party. Well, I would have a couple of dollars for sure.
A lot.
Yeah, phew.
Chime in now. It's Group Therapy on the Y94 Morning Playhouse.
And that's where Tyler is today. Can you set this up for us there, bud?
My fiance, she took a little bachelorette trip down in Florida. And, I was here back at the house, and when she came back, I asked her how everything went, and I think she just downplayed it a lot because, in the middle of the night, the first night she came back, her phone lit up, and I saw that her sister texted her, and it said, "What happens in Florida stays in Florida," which had me very suspicious, right? Because that's just kind of odd and vague. And then a second text popped up, and it said, "Don't worry about it. You shouldn't feel bad." And that's when I went full, stalker mode, and I went on her social media, and I saw that she's recently has a new male friend added, and I go to his profile, and I found out that he is actually a male stripper.
Well.
So I'm just curious, is this enough to think that she's lying to me, or am I crazy?
How do you not bring this up to her right away? I would say that second text would make me, by the first text, I probably would have. What happens in Florida stays in Florida? Yes, I'm going to question that. But you know what? You didn't. But that "don't worry about it" text, that's when I would say, we're getting too much now. What does all this mean? Explain it to me.
Yeah, there's nothing good there. I mean, the first one, he could maybe been the argument, maybe the sister did something she shouldn't have done.
Yeah.
Could maybe make that argument, but it sounds, and that friend, how
weird.
How brazen do you have to be, though, to add that kind of person to your social media? Just this is just fine. This is just fine. We befriended this stripper man.
Well, that's what I'm wondering, if maybe nothing really did happen. Maybe something happened with someone else, and she ended up she did become friends with some guy at the bar. But that's why you need to have that conversation and ask about it.
Let's see if we can get some more feedback for it. But we're suspicious. But hang on, though, okay?
Thanks.
Someone said, as someone who went on a bachelor trip last summer, the girls constantly joking that the "what happens here stays here." It's just one of those sayings. One of my friends literally posted it on a tank top. I think the bigger issue is you snooping through her socials and phone instead of just talking to her. Someone said, before you accuse her of anything, ask yourself this: has she ever given you a reason not to trust her before? Because if this is totally out of character, there may be an innocent explanation, and you could really damage the relationship by assuming the worst. But someone said, nah, the "don't worry about it" text, that's the part that gets me. If it was something innocent, she should have said, what are you guys even talking about? It sounds like if someone is reassuring her after she crossed the line. Maybe not full cheating, but definitely something happened. But you don't know until you ask.
Could maybe let a lot of that go, but the "don't worry, you didn't do anything wrong" text, I agree. That's the one where you're like, okay, there's obviously something on what is the thing you're self-conscious about that your sister would say that? That I'd have to know.
Someone said, my ex went on a girls' trip to Vegas, and I ignored the weird little signs because I didn't want to seem controlling. Turns out my gut was right. I'm not saying your girl cheated, but the sketchy text plus that random stripper on social media would definitely bother me. Why don't you just ask her directly and see if she gets defensive?
What are we thinking?
I think that maybe there was some strippers there.
I mean, obviously.
And she feels weird about it, but I don't that doesn't mean anything. You know what I mean? She didn't have to have done anything.
You think that's weird? They're literally on social media together now, though?
Maybe the guy gave her some sort of lap situation, but that's not cheating. That's just the bachelorette party fun. That's okay.
Little lap. Did you say a little lap situation?
Yeah.
So if she feels weird enough about these dancers being there, that the sister's like, oh, don't worry, you didn't do anything wrong, but you feel weird about it that your sister would say that. Is that the same person that has openly added this person as a friend on social media?
The sister or her?
Her, Tyler's wife here. That's odd to me. Oh, yeah, she's so self-conscious about these people being there. That's clearly why she feels guilty. But then she adds them on social media?
That's why I think it had to be something innocent or something like things are getting misconstrued and you need to have the follow conversation where you do say, I saw these things on your phone and it's making me question what is happening.
I'm going crazy.
Someone said my husband had something similar happen before we got married. He was acting kind of weird. His friends were acting super secretive after the trip. It turned out one of his friends hooked up with someone, not my husband, and they were all covering for that friend. That text might not even be about your fiance specifically.
What are we thinking for him? Hi.
Oh, I think she's totally lying. She's 1,000% lying. Like, yeah, no, he should totally investigate and get to the bottom of this because she's 1,000% lying.
So your spidey sense is going off. You're like, there's something funny here.
Yeah, exactly.
You got to have more conversation, bare minimum.
Yeah, like the person said, have the conversation and see if she gets defensive or if she's just willing to explain things. I think you'll be able to get a read on how she handles the situation.
Well, I will tell you this much, Tyler. This is one of those ones where if you, because obviously you're going to have more talk. If you were to not tell us how that talk goes, I'm like years from now going to be like, I wonder whatever happened to Tyler in that bachelorette party. So once you have the talk, please do let us know. And good luck. Hopefully it is just a misunderstanding. Hopefully.
Hopefully. But yeah, I would like a follow-up.